When we used to talk about the digital divide, it was pretty simple. It was all about who had internet and who didn't. But in the age of AI, that definition is completely out of date. The new divide isn't about cables and connections anymore. It's about skills. And that's a gap we all need to understand fast.
So here's a question for you, and honestly, for all of us. With artificial intelligence moving at lightning speed and reshaping, well, everything, it raises a really critical concern. Are we actually prepared for the massive changes it's bringing to our jobs, our businesses, and our entire society? And that is the new digital divide. It's a skills gap. I mean, having access to all the AI tools in the world is pretty useless if you don't know how to use them, right? This is the gap that's going to separate the people and companies who innovate and thrive from those who get left behind in this new economy. So what's the answer? Well, it boils down to a philosophy of AI for all. The only way we can make sure this incredible technological leap actually benefits everyone is to democratize access to these critical skills. That's the real key to unlocking innovation and growth on a massive scale. All right, let's break this down. First up, let's take a look at the corporate world. How exactly is this new skills gap playing out in business? Look, for any company out there, the race to adopt AI is happening right now. To have any chance of staying competitive, they have to get their people equipped with the right skills. AI training has gone from a nice-to-have perk to an absolute non-negotiable necessity for survival.
And get this, the return on that investment, it's pretty staggering. Research is showing that for every single dollar a company spends on generative AI training, they see an average return of 3.7 times that amount. That is an ROI that no business leader can afford to just ignore.
This really highlights a fundamental shift. Think about it. A traditional workforce is always reactive, kind of playing catch-up as skills become obsolete. But an AI-enabled workforce, they become proactive. They start driving innovation and boosting productivity from the inside out. The difference is truly night and day.
Okay, so training your current team is one thing, but that's only half the battle, right? Companies also have to bring in new, specialized talent, and the problem is the demand for people who are experts in AI and data science is just skyrocketing past the current supply.
So how do you solve that? Well, the solution is strategic IT staffing. It really boils down to a pretty clear three-step process. First, you figure out exactly what skills you're missing. Then, you connect with the pool of professionals who've already been screened. And finally, you bring them in to build out your AI strategy.
Now let's shift gears. We've talked business, but bridging this AI divide goes way beyond the boardroom. It's about empowering people and making sure we build an inclusive future. This is where that AI for all idea gets really powerful. It stops being about just profit and starts being about social responsibility. Because if this technology is truly going to change the world, then absolutely everyone, no matter their background, deserves a chance to be part of that change.
So what does that actually look like in the real world? It looks like corporate social responsibility programs. These initiatives are specifically focused on bringing generative AI training to groups that have been historically underserved, making sure the future of tech is a whole lot more diverse and inclusive.
Now, this is a really crucial point, especially with all the fear out there about AI taking jobs. A report from the International Labor Organization found that AI isn't really going to replace jobs wholesale. Instead, it's going to transform them. So the key isn't to fear being replaced, it's to embrace being reskilled.
And if we're serious about building a society that's ready for what's coming, we have to start early. The foundation for a world where everyone is fluent in AI has to be laid right in our schools and universities. This isn't just about throwing a few new computers in a classroom. It's a real three-part strategy. First, you have to weave AI directly into the curriculum. Second, you've got to train the teachers so they can teach it effectively. And third, you need to prepare students for the actual industry certifications that will help them land jobs. So we've gone from business to people. Now let's zoom out even further, to the national level. Because AI skilling has officially become a strategic priority for entire countries. And if you look at the trend, it is crystal clear. Governments all over the world are waking up to the reality that their national competitiveness in the future will be defined by how good they are at AI. And as a result, they are pouring serious money into building a workforce that's ready.
And just to give you a sense of scale, take a look at India's national AI mission. The government has set aside over 10,300 crore rupees for it over the next 5 years. That's not a small program, that's a massive nationwide commitment. And this commitment isn't just on paper, it's taking shape through huge initiatives. You have the India AI mission, which is built on that AI for all idea.
And then regional programs like Nan Mudalvan in Tamil Nadu, which is focused on giving practical tech skills to millions of students.
Okay, we've looked at this from the corporate angle, the community angle, and the national angle. So let's bring it all back home. What does all of this mean for you?
Think about the journey we've just walked. It starts with AI powering individual businesses, which then expands to empower society as a whole. And that, in turn, helps build stronger nations. But it all leads to that fourth and most important step, your future.
When you look at it this way, you see that bridging the AI skills gap isn't about just one thing. It's a connected effort. You need corporate training, social initiatives, and national missions all working together, all pulling in the same direction toward that one central goal.
So if there's one big takeaway from all of this, it's this. Solving this new digital divide isn't one person's job or one company's job. It's going to take a massive collaborative effort from every single level of our society.
Which brings us right back to that first question, but let's frame it a little differently. It's not just about whether you'll get left behind. It's about how you are going to actively participate. Whether you're a CEO, a teacher, a student, or just someone curious about what's next, what steps will you take to shape your future in the age of AI?